All right, everybody, Scott Pierce here, and we've got open houses on my mind. So let me know, everybody here have an open house this coming weekend? Open houses, I'm telling you, if you do them the right way, if you do them the way we're going to talk about today, you're going to get listings, you're going to get buyers, you might even sell the home. Absolutely awesome stuff right here. This is really one of the 5 pillars I think that you need to be working on in your business, especially when you are in the priming the pump phase of it, where you're trying to get up to 2 to 4 listings a month. All right. I don't want you sitting here getting a listing a month or a listing every 2 months. I want you to get a listing every single week. All right. So we go after expireds. All right. We got the training on that. Go to leadgenwebinars.com. If you've not gotten to that training, when you log into listings to leads, you're going to see the training for that on the pop-up. Open houses are number 2, because when we get those expired listings as listings, all right, when we use the listings to leads tools, the presentations and everything, and we engage and we list those expired listings, we want to have open houses. All right. If you don't have a listing, you want to borrow a listing to hold open, because then we're going to touch base with the homeowners in the area. We're going to do some circle prospecting. We're going to be professional salespeople, and we are going to engage more homeowners, more people that want to buy and sell and get that property sold. It's going to give us a lot of great branding, a lot of great visibility into those areas. It's going to make us look like a rock star. We are not going to sleep on an open house. We are not going to do an open house that makes us a bland agent like everybody else in the area. We're going to do an open house at a higher level. You may not be able to do it the right way the first time or the best way, but if you just stay with our training, if you follow what we're talking about, if you get a little bit better every single week, you're going to be a rock star. And that's what I want. I want rock stars. Bill, what happened, man? Bill says he had an awful open house. I'm sorry to hear that. As we go through this today, make sure you let me know maybe what you didn't do, and let's turn that frown upside down. That was about as hacky and goofy as I could ever be, but I hope you got a smile from it. I did go ahead and put the link in for our open house marketing playbook. We've actually got a couple of different playbooks that you're going to want to be familiar with. On this one here, this one focuses on the market listing, right? Market open house. So what are the tools? What are the things that we're going to do ahead of the open house to get a lot of people in there, to start generating some leads, to get more people at the open house? So this is that part of it. Okay. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Right. I know a lot of you in areas where the weather is awful. You had Super Bowl Sunday. Totally get that. A Saturday open house might have been a little bit better, but regardless, what has happened. So let's just make the best of it, and let's move forward, and let's just get better. Let's just get better at what we're doing. So at the link I just put in, and again, if you're watching the recording, I am at listings2leads.com/open house. And this is going to be walking through all those different tools again under the green market listing button. There is one item on here that is not in the listings to lead system, and that is doing Instagram stories, where we have links. All right. Every single day from now till the open house, I want you to be doing an Instagram story. I want you to be including links in those stories, links to the property website, links to a landing page that would be appropriate for a buyer, like the ultimate guide to buying a home, maybe a link to another PDF guide. All right. So we have a lot of great tools, a link to down payment assistance if it's a home that's appropriate for that. We have a lot of different links and listings to leads that you can use to engage people via Instagram stories. And we've got examples here. I've got a video that walks you through that right there. So if you don't know how to do that, make sure you check that out and get into the listings to leads mastermind group, and let me know where you're having problems, because there's absolutely no excuse between my training, the platform you got access to, and you taking action. that you are not going to be an absolute top producing agent, a rock star, a household name in your area. All right. These are the things that I want for you. These are the things. All right. Dustin Fox, all right, cut his teeth using listings to leads, went from a single agent, him and his wife, to now one of the biggest teams, 25 agents, the most five-star Google reviews as a real estate agent, I think, in the country. Wrote the book, 6 Weeks to Agent Success, and he started everything and still uses listings to leads to help grow his business. And I'm telling you, open houses were one of those things that he mastered using the tools in listings to leads to engage the homeowners in the area to get more listings, to engage potential home buyers via the marketing that we're going to be doing today. So please pay attention. First thing I want to mention is your yard sign. All right. Especially if you're the listing agent, of course, we want to make sure that we get that rider on the top of our yard signs. Right. Digital marketing, right? Yard signs. Come on. Isn't that so 1995? No, it's not. We want this on the top of the yard sign. I want a flyer box with the listing flyers from Listings to Leads in the flyer box. And I want you to have the text writer above the larger placard. All right. So that as the neighbors are walking by, they can see that you're having an open house. These are some of your best potential seller leads. All right. We've got the nearby homeowner letter. We've got other things that we're going to be doing to get more of these homeowners into that open house. But especially if you're the listing agent, I want you to make sure that you've got your yard sign dialed in, because it's one of those things a lot of people don't really get. They don't understand that the yard sign is your business sign. So if we're not going to take advantage of the yard sign, we are absolutely missing out on a golden opportunity to engage and get some of the best seller leads out there. You'll also get some buyer leads. All right. Some of the more serious buyers might do a drive-by beforehand because they just want to scope it out. Maybe they've been looking for a while, and they also will send a text. If you got that text writer, you can order those from Listings to Leads. You can have a local sign writer company make it for you, maybe. But we want to make sure that they've got the ability. No one's going to call your 10-digit number. All right. No one's going to call that 10-digit number. And so we want to make sure that we've got text 12345 to 25678. They can get the mobile responsive virtual tour sent to them automatically. You will get the phone number. And then if we got the listing flyers, they also contain the text information, right? Listing flyers, I want you to be thinking of them essentially as a paper Facebook ad. All right. We've designed the listing flyers for your open houses where they automatically display the text information so that they get a little bit of information in the flyer. They get a couple of photos, they get the partial property description, they get a few details. But the goal of those listing flyers is for them to text to get the full details, all the information at the mobile responsive single property website. All of it's completely automated. You'll get the notification with the phone number. You're going to be calling them back and you're going to engage them, get more listings, get more buyers if you got your yard sign dialed in. All right. I'm going to scroll back up because at the top, there is the open house cheat sheet. And if I click on that, there's some really good links right here that I'll just mention real briefly. All right. The main, all right, that was what we were just looking at, the main open house marketing. The next link is open house mastery. This will walk you through, this will take you inside of your Listings to Leads account. And so if you're logged in, it's going to take you right here. It'll take you right to the open house mastery presentation. All right. Someone says the volume is too low. Let me bring it up. Unable to join. Kim, what are you unable to join? I think you're with me. So hopefully you're good to go. Open house mastery. This is going to walk you through, and we're going to touch on this a little bit. If you're a broker, a trainer, a coach, if you're a mortgage broker, this is phenomenal to train on. If you're an agent, obviously you want to make sure that you're very comfortable with this, because this walks you through more of how do we select the right property to hold open. Not every property is equal when it comes to getting benefit from it. So this is going to walk you through whether it's your listing or a listing that you're going to borrow. How do we make sure, right? And we can't ever make sure, but how do we increase the odds so that those 2 hours that we're going to be there, the 3 to 4 hours that it's going to take us total for preparation and breaking down, that that time that we spend, right? The money that we spend, that it returns the best ROI possible. All right. So we'll be walking through some of this today as well, but I want you to make sure that you come back to this a little bit later, right? Again, here, picking your open house. But where this really excels is a couple of things. One is this walks through how to turn that open house into more of an event. Again, when the homeowners drive by, when neighbors walk through, when a potential home buyer who has a home to sell comes through our property, our open house, when you are the fifth open house that they've been to that day, and later on that evening, they start talking about the properties that they saw. Regardless of the property, I want them to be thinking about you and thinking, God, that Christine, she was amazing. Would you like the house? Well, the house is okay. Christine, she was amazing, right? She stood above every other agent that we saw today in her professionalism, the way she conducted the open house, the way she approached us, right? Everything about Christine was just amazing. And so if they don't have an agent already that they're committed to, we want you to be that agent. So I don't want to just be doing this open house in a way where, again, I'm just another number in the sea of agents. All right. There's millions, maybe not millions, but there are a ton of agents out there. They are all wanting business. So what do we have to do? We have to make sure that we are the obvious choice for these people. All right. Lauren says volume is good now. So thank you for that. So go through this later as well. I've also got scripts. I don't want to leave anything to chance. I want you to make sure that even talking about an open house neighborhood exclusive where you can do one. Again, this is one of those things where Dustin Fox really learned to excel his business was by doing neighborhood exclusives, something that's a little bit more private, a little bit more sophisticated, dialed in, specific to these neighbors so that everybody coming through feels a little bit special. All right. They feel like you are doing something for them, right? That's what I want. Now, you don't have to always do neighborhood exclusives. We can make our open house work for that as well. But if you got the opportunity to do a neighborhood exclusive, you're definitely going to want to make sure that you do that. All right. So let's get out of here because we have a lot to cover today. Let me come back here real quickly on that cheat sheet. All right. Again, listings2leads.com/open house. You'll see the link to this right at the very top. The 7-day marketing calendar. So for those of you that you just need a little bit of help, all right, Monday, what do I do? Tuesday, what do I do? Wednesday, what should I be thinking about? This walks you through that. Sometimes for some people, it's a little bit easier if we just have kind of a little bit of a roadmap versus just everything kind of sitting there for us. So it'll walk you through every day of the week. What are we doing to make sure that we're going to have the best open house ever? So again, don't try to be perfect the first time through. Don't beat yourself up and get stressed and just fall apart if you're not able to execute all of this the first time through. The likelihood that you are probably not that high. But if you were to do the open houses every week, or at least every 2 weeks, but really every week while we're priming the pump, we're getting good, we're learning, you're going to see your business is going to change. All right. Your business will change. The worst thing people do is they start having success and they forget to keep at it. They forget what got you here, who brung you to the dance, as they used to say. So let's get at it. Let's go to a listing. Let's set the open house and let's go through that marketing so that we're going to have a phenomenal open house. On the listing dashboard, I've got a listing here, 15 Ambient Way. If you need help getting listings into your account, make sure you let our amazing support team know. Hopefully the listings are coming in automatically from a data feed. So you see here on the far right, it says add open house. I'm going to click it, and then I am going to set my open house, and I can change the time. If I'm having 2 open houses, I can add that. But regardless, I'm going to go ahead and click save. What is going to happen is all of these tools are now going to flip from whether it was coming soon, just listed, active. I've even had people, right? And pending, when a pending goes back to active, it will reset all of those tools. And now, once we see that open house little icon, and I go ahead and click on market listing, everything is going to be now for open houses. We got a link back to Open House Mastery. Again, that's that presentation that we were walking through a little bit earlier. Again, right there. A link to that listingsleads.com/open house is right here again if you need that. So go ahead and click that. There's a checklist if you want, but we're going to get to it. If you're watching the recording, make sure to pause as needed. First thing we'll do is a Facebook and Instagram ad. And we brought Facebook into Listings to Leads. The average cost per lead for open house, where we get name, we get email, we get phone number, and we get a few other things which I'm going to show you, such as, do you have a home to sell? Would you like the ultimate guide to buying a home? And what is your time frame to buy? So we're going to get all of that information with every lead. The average cost per lead was between $4 and $5 for open houses. The range is like 3 to 7, 3 to 8. If you're doing an ad and your cost per lead for an open house is higher than like $8, I would just end the ad and rerun it. Okay. I would end the ad and I would rerun it. Sometimes the algorithm just gets a little bit crazy. I don't want you wasting money. I saw a client the other day, $40. Now this is for sellers. And she was using a custom audience and she was doing this and that, $40 and no leads, which that doesn't work for me. So here you're going to see the location is going to autofill. So I got the listing is in Folsom. It says Folsom, California. We got the special housing ad category, radius 15 miles there. I would not mess with that. Leave it alone. We got a lifetime budget of $35. You really want to be at $10 minimum. All right. And I got people that go $300 a week. You don't need to start there. That's when you start getting better at this. But at a minimum, you want to be at about $10 a day. Now it's already Tuesday. So if I go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I got 5 days, maybe I'll go 50. But at the same time, if I'm going to spend all of this time, I want a lot of lead. I want people there. So whatever, but minimum $10 a day. Because it's an open house, I'm going to adjust the ending date. I don't need to run an open house ad right past the open house. So I can just say, you know what, just end it on the 15th on Sunday. And I'm going to adjust the time to 2:30, 3:30. So the ad will end about a half hour before the open house ends. I can change the template, the video, I can retarget, but you don't need to do any of that stuff. Just click create ad. And it will reset. And then the ad will be submitted to Meta. It'll be on Facebook. It'll be on Instagram. There are other things that you can do under advanced options, but for 9 out of 10 of you, you don't need to. Yes, this will be in the mastermind group probably tomorrow, but it's also available via the link on YouTube. And if you logged into StreamYard, you'll have the recording available to you there as well. So let me show you what an ad looks like. Shauna, yeah, I don't know. Fake, I tell you, I run ads for a number of people. We get 85 to 90% all good stuff, and they stay on, and it works out really well. So it might be the homes that you're marketing, right? Maybe try a different farm area. But check this out, open house deal of the week. All right, so again, all of this is editable. And check it out, I click on it, and these questions are all customizable. Oh, so would you like to list a price of these homes for sale? Put yes. All right. What's your time frame to buy? I want 3 to 6 months. And would you like my free ultimate guide to buying a home? Yes, send it now. Hit continue. You're going to get name, email, and phone number, and they will go on to the single property website. Again, you're going to get the lead notification email, and it will drop into your listings to leads account. It'll drop into your CRM, and it will let me know the name, the email, the phone number. And the default questions are, what is your time frame to buy? Just like you see here. Would you like my free ultimate guide to buying a home? And do you have a home to sell? Those are the 3 default questions, but we've got like 20 ways or 20 other questions that you can select from that list. All right. No, you cannot no, Facebook will not allow you to ask for a address, right? It goes against the fair housing. So you can't even, no, you will get your account shut down if you start asking for an address. You're able to do it for about 10 minutes, but no more. I know it. Trust me. I wish we could. All right. Next up, social media post. This is going to be a post to your social media. I like to change the image to the sideways, right? We got 21 different image templates for the ads, for the posts. You can always upload custom images, right? So that I can change the color of this. I can change the images in there if I need to. I want the best 4 to 5 images showing here. And either click post now. Now, this will normally just auto post. So you're going to get here and it's going to be already posted. And you can also see here in the blue, it says scheduled to auto post February 10th. That's today at approximately 11:47 a.m. So in about 20 minutes, that's going to auto post for me. So I don't need to do anything. It will auto post to Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Google. So make sure you get your Google accounts connected. Okay. Having it post to your Google is phenomenal. And when people click, you can select either the landing page. All right. You can see what the landing page looks like here. And again, I can customize as needed. I like to go to the single property website, but it's up to you. I'm not going to argue. All right. And at the single property website, I got video, I got my 3D tour. And so this is also what people are going to land on from the Facebook ad that we just did. All right. So that Facebook ad is going to land here. They got the countdown counter. All right. The property description. I got my 3D tour. I got my professional photos. I've got an area video. There's really so many great things. So if you've got a YouTube channel, make sure you get in the mastermind group and a client review video. So the social media post will link people to that single property website or the landing page, depending on what you got. All right. Next up is the seller social media. So if you are the listing agent, this is such a powerful thing. There are 2 tools for the seller. There's a social media post and an e-flyer. We want to get this to the seller. It is this is some of those best leads out there because these people know the seller. The seller is now essentially promoting you. And so because of that, as these people are coming in, I've had people generate over 24 leads. I've had people get listings, get buyers from this. So this is one of those things that you really want to make sure that you're doing. And it is so easy to do. No, there's no connection to Nextdoor, but you are going to ask the seller if you are the listing agent. Again, if you're not the listing agent, these two will not be available to you. Don't worry, we got you. You're going to do fine. But if you are the listing agent, you want to make sure share on seller social media, click the green send a seller. In fact, it may say add seller info, add their info if it's not there already, and click send. All right, boom, bada bing. Yes, send it. The seller is going to get an email. It's going to have this right in the email. You are going to be CC'd. All right, so you'll know exactly when the seller got it. Before I get into this, we want to do the same thing for the e-flyer. All right, beautiful. Look at that gorgeous e-flyer counting down the open house. All right, and I'm going to role play with you. Your listing to lead signature down here at the bottom. All right, generating leads for you as well. People click the e-flyer, they click the social media post, boom, they go to the property website. And we want to send this to the seller as well. So we're going to click the green button again. Their info should be there. Again, you're going to click send it. And I'm going to now, as the agent, I'm going to get 2 emails. It's going to let me know that these 2 emails, right? Each email will let me know that this was also sent to the seller. And then we are going to call the seller up. We're going to call the seller and we're going to say something along the lines of this. So pay attention. This is super easy. The program costs $95 a month. There's no contract or setup. Super, super easy. And Jan Tanzer, do you put the home address you're holding the open house on Facebook ad? No, I don't. I want them to click through to get that. If you can do whatever you want though. All right. Completely customizable to do all that. So you're going to call the seller and you're going to say, hey, Arif, Scott here. We got the open house coming up this weekend. Just some Facebook ads. It's on Zillow. It's on realtor.com. I've got a lot of other great marketing that's going out today, but all this week. And I sent you a couple of things, one to share on your Facebook page and also something to share via email, because in this crazy market, we don't want to leave any stones unturned. And you likely know people who know people that would love to buy a home in this area. So if you could put that on your Facebook page, and hey, if you belong to any Facebook groups or next door, put it there as well, because the more people we get to that open house, the more opportunities we get to sell it. And also I sent you a second email of, it's an e-flyer. You can just share that via email again to people that you know. Absolutely phenomenal. Your seller is going to think you're a rock star. Your seller is going to be thinking, wow, this agent, because you let them know, right? It's on Zillow, it's on realtor.com. I did a Facebook ad of all these other things that we're doing to promote the open house, right? And get a ton of people there, get some strong offers. And so if you can do these 2 little things, right? Because again, I know that people who likely know people who would love to buy a home in the area. And again, your seller is going to think you're a rock star and you're going to get them to promote you for free to all of their friends. And if you're the listing agent, we're going to do this again when it's pending, when it's sold. And so the goal is for their sphere of influence on social media and email, and also all those people they're connected to in the neighborhood Facebook group on Nextdoor, to see us multiple times over the course of that listing. Does that make sense? I would say no, the $55 or whatever you want to do is just for the Facebook ad budget. All that money goes to Facebook. Let me tell you, there are companies that take 10, 15% off the top. I don't even know if they're around anymore, but there are companies that literally, when you run an ad, the ad, you only have to do $80. I have to do $100, and they take 10% of it, right? That's garbage. We don't do that. So everything you run for the ad goes to the ad. All right. Are we good on the sellers? I'm telling you, absolutely amazing. Now we're going to go after those neighbors, because we want as many neighbors, either to the neighborhood exclusive, if you're going to do one of those, or the open house itself. So we are going to use the nearby homeowner letter, We're going to use the nearby homeowner letter, and whether we mail it, so if you got the opportunity to mail it, phenomenal, or we're going to door knock. All right. So I want you to be thinking about the fact that your goal, I would hope, is to get the listing sold. All right. But to get more listings. So think about the fact that when we do the open house, we're not doing an open house like everybody else. Our open house is going to be special. And so I want to make sure that we get as many of the neighbors there as possible. So it is going to be worth it for me to door knock, all right, or mail, right? It's Tuesday. You better get it done today if you're mailing, but I want to get as many people, I want to get as many of these neighbors there as possible. So we're going to download. Now, this internet editor, I can edit it. The less you edit, the better. For an open house, I will show you. Oh, there we go. I'll show you the only edit I would ever make to this letter, but you don't need to edit anything. All right. You don't need to edit anything. So you can see, here's the letter. Right now we got postcards, we got door hangers, but for an open house, the letter is really a lot better. right? We're having an open house Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. You can get more information on the photos by, right? That's automatically there. The QR code is going to go to the property website. All right. All of that goes to the property website. So they're going to get there. And then check that out down here. When this home is sold, it will affect your home's value. I would like to invite you to get your new home value estimate for free at, right? Then we got the vanity URL for you. That's free in listings to leads. Goes to the home value landing page. And again, so this is customizable. So there's a little edit icon for each one of these. They're all three the same letter, just different formats. Pick your poison. I like the first one the best. If I go to edit, the only thing I would change would be something like this. There's two different things here for an open house. So I just want to let you know we're having a NEIGH neighbors only preview open house at 15 Ambient Way. And maybe it's on, all right, Dustin would always do Fridays. Friday, but it could be Wednesday, it could be Thursday, it could be whatever day you're doing. So I'm just going to edit this because it's not public. It's just for the neighbors. So I'm not going to run an open house ad for the neighborhood preview. So I'm going to edit this for that. And I might even do one better. A neighbors only catered preview open house. And then I can format it a little bit. Boom. Now, if I'm not doing a neighbors only preview, I can still add, if I'm going to do catered, we're having a catered open house. So if you're not doing catered, then don't worry about it. But if you are doing a little bit of food, a little bit of drink, like you're going to see in the open house mastery training, because again, I want to create an event. I want to create an atmosphere where people are going to hang out a little bit longer, right? We want that. We want people to hang out. We're going to be talking about a lot of great stuff to make that happen. And a lot of it is in open house mastery, or it's on the cheat sheet that you have access to. And now when I download it, you'll see that I'll have the edits. So if I add, so you saw just a couple of things. Don't start putting your picture in here, and don't be putting I'm number one. That's just going to turn people off. All you want to convey is we're having an open house. All right. We're having a catered open house. We're having a catered neighbors preview open house, and you're invited. And when this home is sold, it will affect your home's value. That's all you want. Now, what I would do is I would print up, depending on how I'm going to do it, but I want to get it between 50 and 100 to the neighbors. Whether I grab some of the bags like these off of Amazon or Home Depot, I don't think Home Depot, Office Max or whatever, right? So if they're not home, I can put them in a bag and put them on the door. I am also going to print my listing presentation. So if I've got this because I used it in the listing presentation for this property, great, I'll take that one with me. If I don't, and maybe I'm borrowing the listing or I don't have it for that property, I'll just print it under the listing presentation tab, bind it, and carry this with me, because when I'm door knocking the neighbors and I invite them to the open house that we're having on Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. right down the street, right, my catered open house, I'd love to invite you. And I just wanted to make sure that you knew we were having the open house because we expect a lot of people there. And so here's the invitation, right? You hand them the letter, and then they may ask you a couple of questions. I want you to be holding this so they can see it, all right, so they can see it. And then at some point mention that, yes, we're using our 100 plus point home marketing plan to get the property sold, right? And we're expecting strong offers, or however you want to phrase that. I don't want to say something where I overpromise and I look like an idiot later, but I do want to have my listing presentation marketing plan with me. I'll show you that a little bit later if needed, because the quicker we get this in the hands of people, the more listings we get. It's almost like a law of nature, right? The more homeowners I get this in front of, either I send them the link to the online flip book, I can send it via email, via text, I can print up another copy. So as we're talking, if they show any interest in this, and some are going to, I'm going to ask, could I send you a copy via text or email? All right. Would you like me to create a custom one for your home if you're thinking about selling in the next few months? I can actually create one of these for you that has your home on every single page, right? So you can see exactly what your home would look like in my 100 plus point home marketing plan. All right. He did mention, thank you, Keyshawn. Appreciate that. And listings leads, the base plan is $95 a month. Christine says Staples. Yes, there you go, Christine. Thank you so much for that. Staples. That is exactly right. Let me go ahead and close that. Again, we got postcards and door hangers, but you're not going to use these for an open house, right? That's more just listed, just sold. But next up is a circle prospecting script, one of the best phone calls, right? Now, we hate cold calls. I get it. Nobody likes cold calling, right? It's a rejection. It's not fun. I totally get it. But listen to this. When you do circle prospecting, especially around an open house, treat it like a customer service call. Your job is not to get someone to list. Your job is not to get someone to want to sell their home with you. Your job is to let people know that we're having an open house. I want to make sure that you're invited. If you gave them a nearby homeowner letter, but didn't have a chance to talk to them, you might say, I dropped off a nearby homeowner letter, or we sent out email invitations to everybody and just wanted to see if you got that or not, or if I could send one to you. But you just want to start a conversation related to real estate, related to the open house, inviting them to the open house, because several different things can happen. One, they come to the open house and they say, oh, thank you for the invitation to the open house. I got your phone call, or I got your voicemail, or they got the nearby homeowner letter, or they saw it from the seller in the neighborhood group or on Nextdoor, or maybe all of it. And if they saw your ad, right? So we want to make sure that we are inviting the neighbors, because this is our best source of new listings around an open house. So we're going to call the neighbors. I got a beautiful script right here. There's two versions of it. One where they got the letter, postcard, or door hanger, and one where they didn't. And so when we call them up, I'm also going to let them know that they can text 10006 to 25678 to get the full mobile responsive virtual tour with all the photos and details. We got a property video. There's a 3D tour, right? As appropriate, whatever you got in there. But we want to, because if they send a text, I'm going to get a phone number right away and I'm going to know that they're interested. All right. And then I'm going to let them know just with the way the market is now. I just wanted to be sure to let all the neighbors know. All right. Again, I want to be a luxury agent, even if I'm not. I want to be white glove, even if I don't necessarily think that I am. All right. I want to be perceived as providing value and service above and beyond. And for all the people that tell me to F off, who cares? They weren't my people to begin with, most likely. All right. I'm only looking for a few people that I can serve. And if I call 100 people, we got My Plus Lead, you got Red X, you got Vulcan 7. You have a lot of different ways to get these phone numbers, right? We got an affiliate link with My Plus Leads that gives you 30 days for free if you need that. Do not call. I got emails. But if I call 100 people, and even if I only connect with one or two people that potentially want to sell, that's potentially $30,000 to $40,000 in commission. Why would I not call 100 people for potentially $30,000 to $40,000 in commission? Because again, when I'm using the tools, when they come by the open house, as I stay in touch with them, they are going to more than likely be listing with me and not somebody else. All right. 100%. Darn 100%, 110%, Christine. You know it. Jan says, where do I find this in listings to leads? We're just on the listings tab, green market listing button. Yep. All right. So we did social media. We did the farm. Now we got the database. All right. Now we want to hit our database. These are the people that either we want to help them buy at some point or we want to help them list their home at some point. Either way, they need to know that we deal with listings. What do people do with you? They buy properties or they sell properties. So if I am only sitting there sharing pumpkin bread recipes, what am I really doing? But yet, if I'm sitting there and I'm sharing the fact that I've got an open house coming up with a dedicated email, right, that shows the open house that we've got coming up, it's gorgeous. It makes you look like a high-end agent. It goes right to the property website. All right. So again, automatically, nothing you need to do. And it also lets them know, hey, when this home is sold, it will affect your home's value. Boom. And it goes to there. And then at the bottom, it's got your listings to leads, lead gen signature down here. You can send it through Lofty, Follow Up Boss, Bold Trail, whatever email program you're using. And it's completely editable. So you can edit whatever I want. And then I can click either send now and send it through listings to leads. I can also edit, like I mentioned before, click the edit button. And if I want to send it through my CRM, you can either do copy code, which is a little bit more convoluted because you click copy code and then you go to your CRM, you click the HTML source button in the editor, paste it in, click it again, you're perfect. Or what's actually easier, just click in there and just do a copy, just copy it all. And this is way better than sending it through your IDX website. No one's impressed by looking at your IDX page. Nobody. You're not impressing anybody, right? You're impressing people when you show them the beautiful, gorgeous e-flyer from Listings to Leads and the single property website from Listings to Leads. So what I'm doing right now is give me 1 second. I just want to show you how easy it is to copy and paste into any email editor. This could be Constant Contact. This could be whatever. So you just go to where you send an email to your people and just boop. Look at that. Just paste it in there. Doesn't get much easier than this. All the links are going to work. The slideshow works. Send yourself a test email. Make sure you're good to go. All right. The only thing I would mention is it will have the first name tag from Listings to Leads. When you do it this way, I would just delete it, and because you're going to use the one inside of your CRM. Boom. Beautiful. Easy. Everything's going to work. And I'm going to send it through Lofty. I'm going to send it through Follow Up Boss, Constant Contact, whatever. All right. And then we're going to call. So many people are scared of the phone when the phone is your best friend. The phone is the number one lead gen tool out there. The phone, all right? Thank God the phone was invented, because without the phone, life would be even harder. So we are going to actually call people. We could send a text if you wanted to. We don't, just pick your battles on that one. I don't necessarily want to overload everybody. But again, at some point, I want to have a conversation with you about buying or selling real estate. Do you think the very first conversation you have with somebody is going to be them going, hey, I'd love you to list my home? I mean, it could be, depending on how you do it, right? Especially if you're doing after the expireds and you get this in front of them where their home is on the cover, or you just use the general one and you're going after an expired, or a seller lead's been in your database for a long time. But we want to stack conversations, because by stacking conversations with people, we can start stacking listings. We can start stacking buyers. So the more good conversations I have with you, the more you're going to be familiar with me, the more you're going to probably like me, the more you're going to do business with me. And so we want to be in that position. So and again, calling your database about an open house is about as low key chill as you can get. I'm not asking you to do anything weird, right? It's just a quick, hey, Arif, Scott here at XYZ Realty, and just want to let you know we're having an open house at 15 Ambient Way. It's going to be catered. It's going to be a lot of fun. Would love to see you there. And I sent an email with the link to the property website. It's got all the photos and details. I just want to make sure you got that. If not, let me know and I can resend it to you. And there's 3 endings here, depending on whether Arif lives either near the property, he lives maybe in a different part of town altogether, or he's a buyer lead. Let's just assume he owns a home, but it's like in a different part of town. So then I can say towards the ending, I can just say, hey, I don't know if you're interested. And I know you're not thinking about selling anytime soon, but I do free CMAs for all of my clients and VIPs. Would arif@gmail.com be the best email to send that to a little bit later? And it's good for me to do it because it just keeps me on top of what's going on in the market over in Whitney Oaks there where you live, right? And if I've had a decent conversation, boom. And if I have to leave a quick voicemail, then I'll just leave a really quick voice. I'm not going to get all of this out in the voicemail, but in the voicemail, I would just may say the top part, right? Hey, Arif, Scott Pierce at XYZ. I want to let you know we're doing an open house next weekend at 15 Ambient Way. And I sent everybody an email. Just want to make sure you got that. See if you have any questions. Have a phenomenal day. Talk to you later. Click. Because I want them to be comfortable that I'm not trying to sell them. I'm not going to waste their time keeping them on the phone for 3 hours. I'm not trying to trick them into anything. I'm trying to be a resource, right? I'm trying to be the person they think of when it comes to real estate. And by making that phone call, all right, that is so powerful. So let's make sure, get the email, all right? Don't bury this in a newsletter. Don't bury your open house in a newsletter. Do your newsletter. That's awesome. But make sure we do a dedicated email. You're going to be spending 4 hours, 2, 1 before at minimum, maybe a half hour, an hour later afterwards. We want to make sure that we got something dedicated because then we're going to call. All right, let's make sure we're going to try to get this done in the next 10 minutes. We do have a short form video script. Again, I know it is absolutely bone chilling in some parts of the country. When you look at the cheat sheet, all right, listings2leads.com/open house. All right, we got like a 5-day Instagram stories campaign where it's just like little video clips, little pictures, and I show you how to do it to include links. I even show you how to do a poll so we can look like we're absolute Instagram all-stars. But this one is a little bit different. This is one where you are going to be in camera. You're beautiful. Don't worry about it. I love you. Your audience is going to love you. But we just want to invite everybody to the open house. And I want it to come from me. So that way, when they get to the open house, they're going to feel like there's a little bit of a connection. All right. So take this right here. The script is on the right. You're going to click, a couple of ways you can do it. You can click send it to yourself if you're on the laptop like I am right now. If you're logged in on your phone, you can just copy it. If you need a teleprompter app, you can drop it into a teleprompter app and do it. Come on, teleprompter apps, you might need it for something a little bit more convoluted, but all we're doing is we're just, hey, everybody in Folsom, want to let you know that we have an open house at 15 Ambient Way on Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. You can get all the photos and details by texting 1-0006-25678. It's a beautiful home on a corner lot with an updated kitchen. And so just get a couple of sentences about the property and then flip it. If you live in the area and you own a home in Folsom, when this home is sold, it will affect your home's value. And I'd love to invite you to get your updated home value estimate now and all of this will be there for you. Everything will be there for you. Don't say the HTTPS. And if you don't even want to say the URL, just say DM or comment below. All right. And then you can engage them that way. Or you can also put a poll on it. But this is the age of video. You don't need to be a complete rock star and have a team behind you to do this. All right. Those people, they get a little intimidating sometimes, right? We see these beautiful people and they're wearing Armani, right? They look like $2 million, all right? And we get a little bit nervous because maybe we're not that polished like they are, but they all started somewhere, all right? And there's a place for all of us in this world, all right? There's a place for all of us. on Instagram. All right. Not everybody wants to be doing business with someone that isn't going to intimidate them, just like they're intimidating you by being so polished. All right. All right. Anyways, let's a couple more things here because I want to talk about the open house sign-in form. But before we get there, the listing flyers, you're going to want to have listing flyers at the open house, and you want to have listing flyers that are going to engage people to take action. We have a lot of different, these are your colors, your branding, your logo. There's always a QR code. All right. 9 out of 10 of you have text in your account. And if you don't, you can always sign up for it. But when you sign up for listings to leads, text IVR is included for free. And look at that. So automatically it's going to have this on here. And so it's the same text number that's on the yard sign. It's the same text number that is in the nearby homeowner letter. All right. So it's the same text number that we're going to use when we call through a database in case they didn't get the email, right? Where they can text for more information. So that's right there. And so there's only 5 photos. And so to get the rest of the photos, they're going to text. And I can tell you, they are going to text because even if they come through the open house later, they're going to want to, hey, do you have the flyer for that listing? Oh, yeah, here it is. Oh, hey, oh, we can get all the photos and all the information by sending a text. Boom. You're getting double, triple opt-ins now from people. All right. How do you get to the overview? Listings2leads.com. Here, I'll go ahead and put the link in again. So here's the overview. And let's just get wrapping this up with the open house sign-in form. So you're going to see right above listing flyers, open house sign-in form right there. In Open House Mastery, so again, don't forget Open House Mastery, that is a clinic. All right. That could be a separate company. That could be a separate price point, but it's not. It's part of Listings to Leads. It's better than any coach. It's better than anything that you're going to see from many of these people out there. It walks you through how to create an event. Now, how much do you want to invest in it? You can go anywhere from buying a simple 2-pound mixed nuts at Walmart and a couple of balloons and water. I know people that have done full on catered, beautiful layouts, okay, costing hundreds of dollars. But we don't start there. We start small and we work our way up as we get better at this. And so anyways, there is a online version, fully customizable. I'm going to show you that in a second. There's a printed version. I like the printed version better. A lot of high-end top luxury agents like the printed version better. This is the one I refer to in Open House Mastery, where you're going to have a clipboard. You're going to have this. You're going to have a neighborhood summary that ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude can produce for you in about 30 seconds. So in Open House Mastery, I walk you through that whole setup. But here, if I click View and people tap, what's great about that, and you're going to want to know about this because even if you use the printed version later after the open house, one of the things for follow-up is going to be to make sure you add them to the online version. So you're going to just see what they selected in the print version and just make the same selections for them. Continue, name, email, or name, phone number, email. But check this out. Send me 6 things to check before buying a home guide. And when they click submit, we are going to send them that PDF guide from your Listings to Leads account automatically. You don't need to send it again. You don't need to do anything. It'll be a part of the email that they get, will be a link to this guide. Phenomenal for helping you with follow-up, right? Phenomenal. The print version will have the exact same questions and the exact same orders. So here's the print version. And back here in Listings to Leads, I got a couple of options of show questions first and then the contact information, or show contact information first. I like the questions, but either way. And then I can reorder, I can edit, I can delete, I can add. So I can add new questions. So if there's something you want to add here, you can do that, customize it. And any edits I make and save will apply to both the printed version and the online version. All right. All right. Jan, I think you were probably a little bit late because the first thing we did is walk through how to set the open house. All right. I'll walk through that in a minute if we need to, but any questions? Oh, a couple more things. And this is going to be at this page right here. All right. So again, listingstoleads.com/open house. Let me just give you a couple of really powerful tips beyond open house mastery for engaging buyers and sellers. So right here, open house cheat sheet. All right. I referenced this a little bit earlier. I'm going to click on that and print the 100-point home marketing plan and display at the open house homeowners. Click here. I click there. It should take me right here. Perfect. Listing presentation print. So it'll take you right into listings to leads. If you don't have this already, I can download the PDF and then print it, get it bound at Staples. I've got a $50 spiral binder, excuse me, my thermal spiral. I got both, but $50 on Amazon, and I just bind it at my house. You want this at the open house. And let me just tell you how to frame it. So as people are coming in and, hey, thank you for coming in, and go ahead and sign in per the seller's request for security reasons, or however you want to do that. They sign in, right? You welcome them to the open house. As they're walking at some point, mention, right? You have this, it's laying on a table somewhere. Just mention my 100 plus point home marketing plan for getting homes sold in the area is sitting on the table over there. If you're curious to look at it, just say something like that. Anyone that owns a home is going to be curious. What in the world does a 100 plus point home marketing plan look like? They're going to be curious. If they don't own a home, they're not going to care. And that's totally fine. But you're still going to look like, wow, this person has a 100 plus point home marketing plan. The people that walk over and start taking a look at it, just initially just make a little bit of chit chat, right? So they're looking at it. And for example, one of the things that you might say is, oh, in that presentation there are some QR codes, right? So for example, on the page mobile marketing, there's a QR code. You should take out your phone and scan that and see what happens, right? And maybe they're going to go, what do you mean scan a QR code? Now it's your opportunity to show them how just ridiculously cool this is. Pull out your phone and say, here, watch this. Open up your photos, scan it right in front of them and show them, boom, the property website just came up on my phone. This is one of many different things that we do in addition to custom URLs, full screen virtual tours, right? All these other things that we do to market a home. You got the reach and frequency, and it's just amazing. So we want, and then if, you're having a good conversation, I would definitely say something along the lines of, if you'd like a copy of that, I can send it to you via text and or email. Because if they own a home and they're thinking about selling at any point in time in the near future, they're gonna want a copy of this. The flip book is right here. So I can send them the flip book, right? There's the URL. So I can send them this link to the flip book, right? That has everything on there. And then if I wanted to, if they're thinking about selling in the next 3 to 4 to 5 months, I could say, hey, listen, I would love to I would love to give you a copy with your home featured throughout, right? I can have one created with your home featured throughout. And that's a different training. If you get with our listing presentation training, we cover that in great detail. But just to tease you a little bit, right here, I've got a listing in my account. The status is listing presentation, 8567 Gold Lane in Folsom. And this features the homeowner's home, name, and address right on the cover, prepared for Franklin Jones, 8567 Gold Lane in Folsom. I'm going to put that link into the chat. And as they go through it, they're going to see their home in every image all the way throughout. Look at this. That's the home of Frank Jones at 8567 Gold Lane. He is literally looking at his home. Look at that domain, 8567 Gold Lane. He clicks it and he's looking at his property website. Are you kidding me? And then he's going through it still, and he scans that QR code and he brings up, now he's got it on his phone. Use these open houses with an eye to make sure that we are getting right our 100 plus point home marketing plan from listings to leads to all of these people. All right. Don't walk out of an open house. Your goal should be to get at least, I don't want to say at least, because who knows, but we want to get as many people as possible a copy of that. And I'm going to give you, before too many people, because we're on the hour, I want to give you the post-webinar survey, because if I'm not providing value to you, then what are we doing here? All right. If you are not walking away from this with great ideas and practical tips and practical executions and actions to take to generate buyer leads, to generate seller leads, then we're not doing what we're trying to do. We're trying to get you in a position to start dominating your local market, in this case through open houses, by doing the best open house for that Sunday that anyone is going to see. Again, day one, the first time you do it, the first couple of times, you might be working it through and getting your feet wet, right? Getting your sea legs worthy. But if you just stick at it and you keep getting a little bit better each time, you're going to see the results. All right. You're going to see the results. All right. So again, any questions for me before we all go? Another really powerful thing is every PDF guide. All right. There's a section called PDF guides. And every PDF guide has, and I got to print up a new one, but we got print flyers with QR codes. Where are we at? Where's the QR code? Ah, there it is. Kind of right there. All right. You can see it there. This is the down payment assistance. So I recommend picking a couple, and this is on the cheat sheet as well. I recommend selecting a few of these guides and print them up. So I would get 1 or 2 for sellers, 1 or 2 for buyers. And for example, 12 mistakes to avoid when selling your home. I click on marketing tools. I click on print flyers. And here we got these beautiful print flyers with QR codes. So I can download them, download the PDF, and then just slide that right into a acrylic flyer holder. You can get these off of Amazon. And actually the links to this is in the Open House Mastery PDF. So if you need links to all of these things, I got them there. And then have that, right? Just pick whatever you think is appropriate and just put them 2 for the seller guides, 2 for the buyer guides. I've also got this one right here, right? The 100 point home marketing plan flyer for the listing presentation. So I've got that as well. And people can scan it. They go to the landing page, they can fill it out, download the guide, awesome stuff. And the very last thing, this is a little bit, Christine, thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit. There's some more links down here. And there's actually a Canva link, PDF guide for seller and buyer leads. That's what I just mentioned. There's a seller request sign in. Give me a second here. Oh, right there. Seller request visitors to sign in, Canva editable sheet. So there's two more things I'm going to show you real briefly. This will take you to a Canva link. And what you do is you just swap out that image with the image of your open house. You can edit any of this to be as appropriate for your open house. And now when you request access for this link, what you're going to do is you're going to click File, make a copy, and this way it'll copy this template into your Canva account, and then you can edit it. So when you get to this page right here, go ahead in the mastermind group, click the link, and it shows you right here in the image, right? Once you get the view access, which I will grant you, click file, make a copy, and then edit it however you want. Yes, if the phone anywhere there's a phone number available, all of that language is there. Yeah. If you'd see it's not there, let us know. But yeah, no, any lead form when there's a phone number present, we put that language. And the last thing here, your seller showcase video. So again, this is one of those things. There's a lot here. There is a lot that you can do. And at some point, you want to be able to do all of this together. But just like you probably won't be able to juggle day one when you're trying to learn how to juggle, right? 4 things at once. But if you stick with it for about a couple of weeks, you might be able to. Same with what we're doing here. But check this out. This is, again, it actually came to us from a client. This is so powerful. Let me click. Let me just click on that link. Seller. So there's a video in listings to leads. So this video is in listings to leads. This is something that you're going to want on your YouTube. You can download it, put it on your YouTube channel, and play it at the open house. All right. This is so phenomenal. A client came to me and he's like, Scott, and this is where I got the idea. I didn't even come up with this idea, but he's like, Scott, he goes, I took that video from listings to leads, right? In listings to leads, we got the media library. And he goes, what I do is I'll either play it on my laptop, or if I have access to the seller's TV, I'll go to my YouTube channel and I'll play this video at the open house. And the easiest way to find it is type in 100 and search in the media library. And there's a short version, a long version. I like the long version. There's also a vertical version for Instagram and TikTok. And you can download it right from listings to leads. Now I can play it right from here, just like I am right now in a pinch, right? If I can't get a hold of my YouTube channel on the TV, maybe I don't even have access to the internet, I can just download this onto my laptop and play it from my laptop, right? Or my tablet. And imagine having this video playing, and as people are walking through, right? It's a 5-minute video. So it's going to play for a while. And homeowners, they're going to check it out. They're gonna be like, oh, and people have told me they have gotten listings from this. Great conversations, right? This is the video version of the print version or the flipbook version. So if somebody's looking at this, what I like to do is say, hey, you know what? I've got a printed version of this over on the table over there. And what I can actually do is I can send it to you via text or email, right? The digital version. And I can also create a custom one for your home where your home is featured on every single page of this 100-point home marketing plan. Absolutely free. There's no cost. And I can either deliver that to you via text, email, or mail it, or even drop it off later next week. See how that works? All right. Thank you, my man. I appreciate that. Awesome. I appreciate that. This tool is great. What do you mean it's going to be great? It is great. It's going to get better. I promise you, we have got some amazing things coming very soon. Super excited. Super excited. All right. Any other questions? Are we good? Anything else? All right. Please go ahead and make sure that you click on that link for the post-webinar survey. I'm not looking for you to tell me how great I am at doing a webinar. I'm looking for, I'd love to hear that, but I'm really looking for where are we missing? What can we do better? How can we make sure that you're getting value? Because at the same time, this is for you. It's not for me. Okay. Can you go back and show me how to get, yeah. And if there's anything you're missing, you can always ask our support team as well. But when you're in listings to leads, you're on the listings dashboard. And now, if you need help adding the listing, get with our support team on that. But I'm going to assume you've got the listing in your account. All you have to do is click over here on the far right, add open house. All right, add open house and select the date, select the time. And you can even, if I got one Saturday and Sunday, I can select Saturday and Sunday and then hit save. And then as soon as you hit save, it's going to reset and all the tools are going to flip from either just listed, coming soon, active to now open house. All right. Arif, thank you so much, my man. I appreciate that as well. All right. I'm definitely going to be watching the replay. Yeah. And Bernadette, thank you for saying that because again, I don't want you to get stressed. I don't want you to get overwhelmed. It's do that. I love overwhelming and stressing on every little tiny thing I can find, but it's just that's not what I want you to do. I just want you to get a little bit better for every open house that you do. All right. All right, Jan. Awesome. Thank you so much. And please make sure you're in the mastermind group as we wind this up here. If you go to the marketing calendar, and if you go to presentations, that's where Open House Mastery is. But if you go to resources, and I'm going to drop this link into the chat. If you go to resources, you're going to see YouTube, right? So all the recordings for what we do are there, along with a lot of other stuff. And then Facebook Mastermind right there. All right. So I want you to make sure that you get to the Facebook Mastermind group. There's a lot of great stuff right there. All right. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Darcy. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. Bernadette, you can stress if you do one open house, but don't do another one for 3 months, then you can stress. But as long as you're doing an open house every week while you're priming the pump, while you're getting your bearings straight on this, you're going to be, I promise you, within 4 to 6 weeks, which may seem like forever, but I promise you it's not, because when it hits the end of March and that spring selling season starts kicking in and people start coming out, right? More home buyers start coming out, more home sellers start coming out. We don't want to be in the learning phase at that point. We want to be in the stacking phase. All right. All right, everybody, get out of here, get to work. Let me know if you got anything for me. Go to the mastermind group, get with our support. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Have a phenomenal day.